Welcome to PCWizKid's Tech Talk. Today we're doing a review on the Windscribe VPN service. Now, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and what makes a good virtual private network? Unlimited bandwidth, coverage in many countries, no major speed slowdowns, apps for all your devices, so you want compatibility. You want to be able to have multiple connections in your household through this VPN service, and of course, good support and the ability to maybe try it before you buy it. Now, here we have the website. I'm just scrolling down. We're going to go through all of these features more in detail, which they are basically ticking all the boxes on what I mentioned a second ago, right? You want to make sure that you have the privacy. So Windscribe is basically a set of tools that are working together to block ad trackers and web beacons. It restores access to blocked content and help you safeguard your privacy online. So it has a lot of support for different countries, whether, trying to access different areas of the world. It has built-in protection, of course, that you can control and turn on and off when it comes to the blocking of content. And, well, they don't keep track of what you're doing. So, in other words, they don't keep identifying logs about what you're doing. It's encrypted, of course, strongest encryption, very, very important as well, right? We want to safeguard our data and privacy online. You're doing that through the encryption. And all these other features like config generators, which is nice, the OpenVPN support if you have a router that has that, and the IKE version 2 support, which is the fastest protocol there used. And, well, why don't we deep dive and look a little bit more about this feature, which you can try, of course, before you buy. And I'll add the link below, by the way, if you're interested in trying this VPN. And see how it could protect you and keep your anonymity basically as you're going through the internet and using it for whatever purpose that you have. Now, in this case, I'm running this on Windows 10. I've got Chrome, I've got Edge, I've got you name it, all the browsers. It supports every flavor of the major browsers as well as operating systems. You can see here Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you can install this. There are two portions to this, really a desktop client and an optional web browser client. I mean, you don't have to install both, but of course you get double protection if you do install both the desktop and the browser add-on. The browser add-on is basically a light version of the desktop version, but the add-on, of course, is only going to block everything through and protect you through the browser, not everything else. That's why I prefer to install the desktop portion of this. Now, we're going to go through this more in detail. I'm going to go ahead and download here the Windows desktop VPN client from Windscribe. And that's a very small little utility, doesn't use up a lot of memory resources or anything. And quickly install that and basically enable it for you so you can see. So, like I said, you get a chance to sign up for a free account. No hold bar there. Just sign up for your free account and get your 10 gigs of data per month for free and try it out, right? If you get the pro account, obviously you have unlimited bandwidth, which is what you want. I do like the fact that I can choose different types of locations. I'm in the East Coast of North America, so I prefer to use the East Coast locations to VPN through. You can choose, of course, different countries, and the connection speeds, of course, are going to vary depending on where you're located and where you're connecting through. If you're connecting through Sweden or some other place like Poland, well, I mean, that's very far from me. So obviously the ping rate, the reaction time, the delay to go through that server and come back is going to be a little bit slower, but it's going to allow you to go through different servers basically and access maybe content that is in Poland or in Iceland or in other areas of the world that the content might be blocked to those just living there, for example. So you never know, right? What is the use that you might want to have a VPN? There's many different uses. Primarily, of course, safety, security, anonymity. And through these settings, you can have this automatically launch and have it running, so that way you never forget to be protected, which is good. You can set things up so you can select things by latency, so you can see the speed, the connection, and of course you can choose to always have the firewall on, which means that if you forget to turn Windscribe on and connect to the internet, you'll be denied. So that firewall on protection is there to protect you from forgetting to turn on Windscribe, for example. And, well, you do have basically built in their system their default, I guess, DNS services that they go through, you can control that. It's called Robert, and we're going to go through that more in detail. So you can see how through this VPN service you can turn on and off at that level what would be controlled and blocked. And if you want to sign up for the beta channel, you can do that too. I'm just going to uncheck that there. And you can see there the client. So this is the Windscribe Pro client, what it looks like. The free client doesn't look much different than this. Obviously, it just doesn't have the Pro there, but it's going to pretty much look the same. You have an on-off button, pretty straightforward. You just press it, click it, and it turns it on. There's a firewall button, which I mentioned earlier, which is your, don't forget to enable Windscribe, otherwise you won't be able to get on the internet, and that's what this is. It's just basically a check for you so that you don't forget that. Little notifications button in there as well. And I opened up here the device manager so that you can see what else Windscribe is doing when it installs itself. You can see that it's treating this as a network adapter, the VPN adapter, basically called Windscribe VPN. And that's running in the background. Everything is going to be routed through there and encrypted through their service. Again, like I said earlier, they will block ads, block information about you, encrypt information so that way it's not leaked and made available to others to see. So all of that is controlled through the VPN, and you can add the add-on here, the Windscribe add-on for your browser. In this case, you can see I have Microsoft Edge, so I'll just quickly install that so you can see what I'm talking about. When you install this add-on, now you've got double protection. I've got it here at the top. You can see it says double hop. You can log in with the user ID and password that you've set up to register, obviously, and then immediately you'll be protected right off the bat. Now, in my case, you know, I don't necessarily feel that I need to have protection from the browser if I have the desktop client on, but sometimes if you forget to put the desktop client on, at least you've got the browser protection on. So that's the double protection basically that you're getting from this. But you can turn the browser off. Obviously, you can control settings in here. You can whitelist also. So I do like the fact that they give you basically all these options within the browser add-on that you can control a little bit better what it is that you want to have passed through, shown, displayed, loaded, whatever, through the browser. And that includes also ads, obviously, malware protection. And what I really like the most about this is you have trusted sites that maybe you don't care about filtering stuff through, and you just want to see the whole site as is. And well, you can turn things on and off, and maybe even whitelist those sites. So you don't have to have these checked off. You don't have to have everything blocked and hidden necessarily. You can have certain things on. I like to sometimes go in and turn things off that I don't mind having on, or even whitelisting certain sites. So, you know, many different features in here. Now, when it comes to the whitelisting, for example, I'm on this Microsoft website. If I wanted to whitelist it, I'll just press the plus sign and it adds it in there, and I can say, just allow this connection to go through without going through the VPN, without Windscribe, you know, blocking ads, for example, and so forth. Allow basically it to behave as though I didn't have the VPN. And you can just add that because maybe it's a trusted site. Maybe you own your own website like I do, and you don't want to block seeing everything on there. Maybe you want to see the ads of your own website to see how things are working, or you want to see certain content. So that's where you can whitelist and specify, don't block this site. Don't apply those rules to this site. Okay, so that's nice to have there, and you can do that only through the web browser add-on of Windscribe. Okay, so that's the one of the perks, I guess, of installing the add-on versus the desktop client, which does not have the whitelist options. Okay, now if you're not sure where to connect to, you know, I obviously know, and I favorited, you know, Buffalo Bill there for Buffalo East Coast location. But if you're not quite sure, you can just set it to autopilot, and it'll just pick the fastest, easiest route to connect to, and that's obviously the first option at the top. Otherwise, if you know which one you want, you can always basically favorite those, bookmark those essentially, and access those quickly from there. Now, here's an example of a browser that does not have on my website the VPN enabled. Okay, Windscribe is not enabled. The ads are there. Everything is behaving the way it is. Now, here it is with the Windscribe enabled, and you can see now that those ads are blocked. And there's more that could be blocked depending on how many things you have enabled to block. You can block a lot more information about yourself, including the cookies and all of that as well. Now, how do you set things up further? What are the details? Well, the support website is very detailed. They have step-by-step instructions, screenshots, and it steps you through on how to set things up. For example, if you have an open VPN router, you can set up the router to go through Windscribe automatically, right, without having to install the client. And if you have a NAS drive, so I have a network storage device myself, and I like to have that network storage device go through the VPN, right? And you can enable certain NAS drives to do that. So that's very nice that they have support to guide you through that. And that's what you want. You want a VPN service that gives you that support, that knows that it will work. And they specify that and give you the step-by-step instructions here. And of course, you have the torrents as well. A lot of people have VPNs and use those for their torrents. Okay, so all of these different types of use cases. And here is the Robert that I talked to you about. So through their service, right, through their system, when you're routed through there and encrypted and your IP is going through there and everything, you can actually have it automatically block certain content. You can see here I have allowing all of these things from a general standpoint and blocking malware. Okay, so you can have a lot of things blocked, and it could basically not allow you to access many different sites that are considered to be bad. Now, they do have additional features that you can obviously pay for the pro account. If you get the free version, you're going to have limited amount of locations to try this out, which makes sense. They're trying to say here, try before you buy. Use it. You got 10 gigs of bandwidth that you can play around with. You've got major locations, and if you like it, hey, you've got the yearly plan that you can get $4 a month. And that's the best deal right there. And well, what can I say? I mean, the pro account is really nice. The speeds are good. Locations are great. You have different locations. Whether you're in the UK, you can route through the UK locations, or the US, Canada, other areas of the world. You saw the list. It's very comprehensive. Definitely recommend this service if you're looking for a good VPN. I'll add the link below in the description. Comment. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you for watching.